My friends, very good evening. We are on job. Earth Bible series. I have given the reading materials. I hope you would have gotten it. Three articles on job. First one on the base of Job 12, written by Ali M. Sinot, Cosmic Devastation and Social Turmoil. Very interesting article. I hope you would have read it. If you seriously read it, your brain would have been upside down now because very deep insight beyond our traditional understandings. Job 12 chapter, Cosmic Devastation and Social. We have only 45 minutes to cover three articles. So please be with me. Our journey begins now. This is the first article is very serious one. I am deeply attracted and fascinated by the insights. Since the insights are very new, to read the chapter 12 in the book of Job from earth perspective, from earth perspective. So, the book of Job belongs to the wisdom literature. Further, the author is unknown. Many argue that the author of the book of Job is a community. Further, we know that the story of Job is symbolic, not a real story of an individual. The book might have been written either BCE first or second century. Anyway, the theme is very important. The theme of this book is, why does God allow to suffer the righteous? Why does God allow to suffer the righteous? That is the core question for the entire book. Then you should know the methodology of this book. The methodology of this book is reconstruction of traditional understanding and wisdom. Reconstruction of traditional understanding and wisdom about God with the help of learning from the nature. Deconstruction of the existing traditional convictions of faith. So the book is very important. From the earth perspective, with the wisdom of nature, the book has been reread to go beyond the traditional faith convictions, the preoccupied traditional understandings, to go beyond pre-formulated knowledge of faith. That is why this book is very important to be read from ecological perspective. Now, Job is a mere representative of innocent suffering humanity. He represents. How many of you know the six eco-justice principles? You might have come across from previous classes. I hope that you know. Otherwise, you should know. If you do not know, you will be limited to understand this course. So, just to refresh you, principle of intrinsic worth, that is the first one, means the earth components, the earth community components should not be valued on the basis of humanitarian value, but on the basis of intrinsic worth. Intrinsic worth, when God creates something, God gives the value to that. And we, the human, should know what kind of value has been given by God to that component of earth community. That is intrinsic value beyond the humanitarian value, beyond not humanitarian value, but utilitarian value. Utilitarian value on the basis of our use. Utilitarian value. Second, principle of interconnectedness. Each and every component of this earth community is interconnected. Nothing is isolated in this God's creation. Nothing is separated. It is God's creation. God's creation is one as a combination of all components of this earth community. Interconnectedness. Third principle of voice. Earth as a voice. Anthropocentric view demands that only human being has voice. But principle of voice argues that each and every component of this earth community has its own voice, and human beings should know the voice of this earth. It has been silenced. Don't consider the earth as a voiceless one. It has dynamic voice, vibrant voice. Then principle of purpose. Principle of purpose means God created each and every component of this earth community with definite purpose. Not only human beings, but also all the components with a definite purpose. And the responsibility of human being is to know the purpose of other creatures. Then, fifth one, principle of mutual custodianship. Principle of mutual custodianship. The third article, Norman C. Hebel is the author. He is proposing in that article this mutual custodianship. Mutual custodianship means normally anthropocentric view demands that human being is the custodian of God's creation. But this principle argues that no, human being can be a custodian along with the custodianship of earth. Earth itself is the custodian of earth, and the responsibility of human being is to join the earth as a co-custodian or a mutual custodian. That is. Then last one, principle of resistance. Principle of resistance. Earth has its own resisting power. It has the power to make its own resisting voice, the voice of protest towards the oppression and exploitation of earth. That is, we don't have time to talk much about those principles. You have to learn it very clearly. Read the first volume, you will get it. Then, now we are coming to this article. Here is a term, Eretz, Hebrew term, E-R-E-T-S. Eretz, the Hebrew term, I think 660 times it is used in the NRSV. This particular Hebrew term, Eretz, with a definite meaning of Mother Earth or Earth Goddess, Mother Earth. That is why in our language we consider Earth as a female, the feminine character of this Earth. That is why Bharatamba, India is considered as a mother. The whole earth is considered as a mother, a woman. The base is this Hebrew term, eretz. Then slowly coming into the depth of this article. So sometimes you will be broken. I don't mind. Because we are going into the depth of this article to make our traditional understanding upside down through reading ecologically, especially the chapter 12 in the book of Job. Preoccupied attitude and its impact. So listen me carefully. We are moving fast. Normally, our traditional preoccupied understanding in our faith is earth is a place of devastation and social disorder, full of evils, full of temptations, full of wrong things, full of weakness, totally disorder and devastation. That is earth. What a terrible preoccupied attitude we have. Job 12 reveals this traditionally pre-formulated attitude and its impacts, bad impacts. Traditional conviction forces us to think that, listen me, traditional conviction forces us to think that righteous should be blessed. Therefore, whoever has sufferings is punished as a result of sins. Here, Job is suffering, and it is understood as a result of his sin. The three friends easily concluded with this traditional understanding. The worst impact of preoccupied traditional convictions is that we cannot see and hear the immediate world. Immediate world. It happened with the three friends of Job, but Job did not agree with the pre-established conviction on blessings and curse. Therefore, he started to understand the real reason of the immediate experience happened in his life through a meaningful encounter with God with the help of God's creation, nature, and environment. I hope you are following me. Now, earth as an oppressed object. Oppressed object. Here, Job remains as an oppressed object. Job, due to the pre-established traditional attitude of the society. It reminds us about the exact state of earth as an oppressed object. Our attitude towards the earth is based on the traditional understandings and convictions. It blocks us to hear the voice of earth. But in the life of Job, in the midst of intolerable sufferings, he was trying to hear the voice of earth about the reasons of the sufferings of a righteous human being. Further, the author tries to understand how earth functions in this text. Now we are on Job 12. From reading from the eco perspective or from the perspective of earth. Job reveals the voice of earth from his own observation as well as experience of life. Three strophes, three stages, positions. First one, earth destructive wisdom. Job 12, 1 to 6. Job 12, 1 to 6. I hope you know that chapter very clearly. Job 12, 1 to 6. Job condemned the traditionally occupied claims of the wisdom of his friends. Truly, you are the people with whom wisdom will die. 12, 2. God witnesses Job as, listen me, God witnesses Job as just and blameless. Job 1 1. But now the friends witness Job as unjust and blame. Job 12 4. Job reveals that wisdom of his friends is against the wisdom of God. And Job argues that this is the cause of the destruction of God's creation. Whenever your wisdom is against the wisdom of God, the God's creation will be distracted. Further, Job questions the concept of, listen, security as a blessing. Job questions the concept of security as a blessing stated by Zophar for those who maintain the order of the created world. Job also condemned this traditional concept by revealing the peace and security of those who have been perpetuating evil. Job 12, 5 to 6. All these are going beyond our traditional understanding. Now, second strophe, earth, the teacher of real wisdom. Job 12, 7 to 12. Job reveals the relationship of earth with her creator by stating that earth is full of God's wisdom. Earth is full of God's wisdom. If we ask earth, it will reveal the real wisdom of God. But we claim that we have the ultimate wisdom and it is not with earth. Job identifies his friends as the killers of wisdom, whereas earth reminds us the real wisdom of God. Here, Job rejects the personal revelation that negates the revelation of wisdom by earth. Once again, Job rejects the personal revelation that negates the revelation of wisdom by Job 12, 7 to 8. 10. Earth knowledge. Earth knowledge. Job argues, is the ground to reveal God's action. If you want to know the activity of God, you should have earth knowledge. Otherwise, you cannot understand. Speak to earth. Job states, is the best action we can do. That is, friends never do. Speak to earth is the best action we can do in our life. Job family states that rejecting the fact that question the faith, rejecting the facts that question the faith, and accepting everything that support the faith, accepting everything that support the faith is a wrong spiritual method. We always do that. The opposite fact. Rejecting the facts that question the faith and accepting everything that support the faith is a wrong spiritual method that distracts God's creation due to not providing a space for listening and hearing the voice of God. Listen me. Job is brave enough to say that if God oppresses the creatures, it should be identified as divine misrule. Divine misrule. If God oppresses any creature, it should be considered as divine misrule. Job 12, 7 to 10. Job 7, 7 to 10. Job declares that earth teaches by direct experience. Therefore, earth should be the center of our speech. Earth should be the center of our talk or speech. He advocates earth-centered speech. Earth-centered speech. Job rejects the anthropocentric worldview. You know that. Centralizing human being at the center of everything. Centralizing human being as the center of this God's creation. That is anthropocentric worldview. Understanding all the entire God's creation from the center where human being is located and centralized. That is anthropocentric worldview. Job rejects it because anthropocentrism is one of the most drastic and brutal factor that distracts the whole creation. That is why we promote biocentrism, geocentrism, now ecocentrism. Then Job confirm. So anthropocentric worldview declares that human being can expect order, predictability, and security. Job confirms that nobody can make this God's creation in order. Nobody can predict anything about this God's creation. There is no security in God's creation. Anthropocentrism declares that. Job confirms that earth and her inhabitants reveal the unpredictability of God's conduct. Page 82. Job states that God reveals darkness and chaos. Job takes a firm position against anthropocentrism by stating that it renounces God's freedom to act as God. Anthropocentrism does not allow God to act God as God. What a sin it is. Then anthropocentric position is inadequate to address the problem of suffering of the blameless. If the wisdom of the aged is based on anthropocentrism, we cannot employ it. Then third strophe, subversion and destabilization. Job 12, 13, 16, 22. Job 12 verses 13, 16, and 22 reveal the destructive power of God. See, Job says that there is a destructive power with God that destructs God's own creation in order to express God's control over earth, not in a negative way. Through this, Job states that is the power of God over God's creation. Job believes in the destructive manipulation of God due to his personal experience beyond the traditional convictions of doxology. Job 12:22, Job 12:23, Job 12:24, Job 12:25, Job 12:16b. Read it. The power of God to destruct God's own creation. God does that. Traditional conviction declares peace, order, and stability perpetuated by God on earth. But Job wanted to reveal the other side of God, who promotes destruction, disorder, arbitrary, and tyrannical power due to the wickedness of human beings. This is against the traditional wisdom and understanding of God. That is, then Job claims that God fosters darkness instead of promoting discernment and enlightenment. God exercises wisdom by demolishing what humans have constructed. Job 12:23. Here, Job brings out the conviction that everything exists out of the mercy of God. God makes the purpose of human beings into purposelessness. Then the order made by human beings will become disorder. God disorients the orientation of human beings about the wisdom and understanding of God. Human beings think to call such a God, and God's wisdom is totally absurd. Job 12:14-25. Job portrays God not as overthrowing oppression by deliverance, but as frustrating all human effort at ordering existence. The ultimate purpose of creation, as per Job, is to reveal primordial reality behind creation, page 88. Job claims that God created light to reveal the deep character of the primordial reality, and that reality is deadly darkness. Once again, Job claims that God created light to reveal the deep character of the primordial reality, and that reality is deadly darkness beyond our understanding. Job recognizes the sufferings of earth on the base of his own torment and suffering. Job tries to reconstruct the concept of transcendent interfering God that destructs creation. This is the first article with a lot of new insights and demanding us to go beyond the horizons of our traditional understandings and faith. Amazing. Now I am entering into the second article written by Catherine J. Dell. You know, J. Dell is a well-known eco-writer and very senior lecturer in the Cambridge University and visiting lecturer in the Oxford University, specialized in the Old Testament, especially in the wisdom literature. She talks about deep ecology. The title of this article is Plumbing the Depths of Earth, on the base of Job 28, on the base of Job chapter 28, and deep ecology. Deep ecology. Please catch the term deep ecology. The article doesn't say anything about deep ecology, but I would like to talk something about deep ecology for your information, and that will help you to understand this article very well. Deep ecology is an environmental philosophy which is firstly constructed in 1973 by Norwegian philosopher Arne and Nases, Naeses, Arne Naeses, 1973, Norwegian philosopher, first coined the term deep ecology. Then it has been developed by so many eco and environmental philosophers. Leave it. But Arneses argues for biospherical egalitarianism in principle. Once again, biospherical egalitarianism in principle. It demands the following points. Going fastly, quickly. Please catch me. Advocating ecocentric or earth-centered worldview and rejecting anthropocentric worldview. Ecocentric and earth-centered worldview. Seeking intrinsic value of earth components irrespective of the utilitarian value. I have already mentioned it. Respecting the diversity of life forms on earth. Special focus on how humans are related to the nature. Natural world is a complex relationship in which the existence of organisms is depend on the existence of others within ecosystem. Standing against non-vital human interference that distracts ecosystem. Again, standing for eco-ethics and eco-justice. Again, standing for environmental ethics. Again, standing against anthropocentric environmentalism. Again, standing against commodification of nature or objectifying the nature, standing against anti-eco civilization and development, standing against eco-destructive economic, technological, and ideological structures, finally advocating the principle of interconnectedness. Just for your information, what deep ecology is, job 28. Listen me. I am moving very fast due to the constraints of time. Please follow me. This is a hymn, job 28, or a poem of wisdom that praises the beauty, richness, diversity, and sometimes strangeness of the living and non living things on this earth. Job 28 is read with the principle of interconnectedness. This article tries to read Job chapter 28 with the principle of interconnectedness, emphasizes God's relationship with the creation. The poem is written with powerful and luxurious words. Beautiful, attractive, luxurious words, poetic approach. The text reveals the richness of the earth by saying, in the depths of earth where human beings finds gold, silver, copper, iron, jewels, and stones. The text talks about the accessibility of humans to process the richness even in the depth of earth. But at the same time, the text reveals that earth has secrets beyond human comprehension. The earth consists of secrets beyond human comprehension. That is God's creation. In short, earth gives its gifts, gold, silver, stone, diamonds, anything. Earth gives its gifts, but does not reveal all its secrets. Earth does not reveal all its secrets like God. The passage says that the animals have their own order and justice apart from the understandings of human beings. We human beings always think that we know the justice of animals, we know the justice of forest, we know the justice of wind, we know the justice of ocean. Now think, they have their own order and justice that we do not know. They have different skills and habits comparing with human beings. In short, the text establishes that animals have their own perspective about nature apart from humans. The text, again, the text describes the non human world also, the world of animals and sea. The text says that earth is the guardian of wisdom. See, this is wisdom literature. This article is focused on the features of wisdom of God, wisdom of human being, and wisdom of nature. That is, don't forget that. Wisdom is the focus. The text says the earth is full of wisdom, and Earth is the guardian of wisdom, and the way to earth is unknown to human beings, because human beings do not know the wisdom of this earth. So the way to earth is unknown to human being, and it is known only to the Creator God. The way to earth. In wisdom literature, it is mentioned that wisdom is a female principle. Page 122. 100 and I think so. You can double check. Here we find a feminine aspect of creation and its language about God. This wisdom is a vital part of God's activity, but wisdom herself has an essential separateness from God, because wisdom as separate entity from God. Wisdom as separate entity from God. Therefore, Habel says, Habel, Norman C. Habel, the main figure, wisdom is not something in God, but it is a mystery of cosmos discovered in the process of creating and ordering the world. Once again, wisdom is a vital part of God's activity, and wisdom is not something in God, but it is a mystery of cosmos discovered in the process of creating and ordering the world. The primary image of God is creator due to creating the universe. The ordering principle of God is wisdom. The ordering principle of this universe is God's wisdom. Wisdom is the point of interrelationship of human and non-human. Further, wisdom is the realm where both human and non-human can relate with God. Human and non-human can relate with God. So wisdom is the center where human, non-human can be related with God. Wisdom is the ground of moral responsibility of human beings towards Creator and creation. So wisdom is highlighted. The wisdom of nature, the wisdom of God, and wisdom of human being are differentiated, and the features of each wisdom have been narrated differently. So it is very important to read this article. Now, time is over. So let me take another 5 minutes to go through this third article written by Norman C. Habel. You know, one of the most important figures in this Earth Bible series, and among the Australian environmentalists. I love him too much. The name of this article is the Wild Ox willing to serve you? Challenging the mandate to dominate, right? Mandate to dominate. But the first part is the wild dogs willing to serve you? This article is written on the base of the principle of mutual custodianship. Mutual custodianship. The article is about the challenges of Job 38 and 39 over Genesis chapter 1, verses 26 to 28. Huh? Habel is comparing these two passages, Job 38 and 39, in comparison with Genesis 1, 26 to 28. In the context of ecological crisis, the text is read with the ecological principle. I said mutual custodianship. This principle states that Earth itself is a custodian of Earth, along with human, to preserve the Earth community in all its diversity, both biotic and abiotic. In the mutual custodianship, the components of Earth community take care of each other with the responsible kinship. Kinship. Now, I am taking you beyond the traditional understanding of custodianship, stewardship. Both custodianship and stewardship are critically criticized by the Earth Bible environmentalists. Please listen carefully. Steward is a person who represents and acts on behalf of someone who has power or authority. The steward operates in the place of the owner or ruler. Clear? So, stewardship is vehemently criticized here. But traditionally, we the Christians uphold the concept of stewardship. Stewardship. Here it is mentioned with a lot of negative connotation. Custodianship. Again, who is a custodian? Custodian is a person who keeps something under the custody. It perpetuates the feudal system under custody. Therefore, kinship is the best method for mutual custodianship. Beyond custodianship and stewardship, kinship is promoted because of his mutual custodianship attitude. Now, the mandate to dominate. Genesis 1:26 to 28 violates the principle of mutual custodianship between humans and the earth community due to allowing humans to, dominate earth and earth community. In that particular passage, there are two dangerous terms. One is subdue and one is dominion over. There are three approaches. Habel mentions that the term ruling, radha, and subduing, kawash, overpowering force, allow the women to dominate earth that unjustly reduces earth and earth community to an inferior status. Inferior status where human beings are superior and the earth is inferior. Secondly, the term rule maintains that humans are given the power to rule the earth with own knowledge and justice. Thirdly, the term rule and subdue stand for different step, taking care and showing kindness towards earth. This is a softening approach as per Brugman. Walter Brugman, famous writer in the field of Old Testament, especially from earth community perspective. Walter Brugman, Bruggmann. Taking care of the poor creatures with justice is essential. Taking care of the poor creatures. Haber suggests that both words are the root cause of domination and oppression of earth. Domination and dependency go hand in hand, as per Van Volde. The domination of women over earth repeat in Psalm 72, third stanza, and Psalm 8, that shows all beings are put under the feet of women. Now, the term kawash is used in the Hebrew Bible with the meaning of overpowering force, military conquest, forced submission, enforced subjugation of slaves, and sexual subjugation, assault on a woman. Now the context. There is a clash between Genesis 1:28 and Genesis 2:15. Genesis 1:28 and Genesis 2:15, where we see the term till, T-I-L-L, tilling, till, award, which means serve, serve. So, Rada, rule, or have domination. Just opposite in Genesis 2:15, award, serve. Then Genesis 1:28, kawash, subdue, crush. In Genesis 2:15, another term, shamar, sustain, keep, preserve. So Genesis 2:15 states that humans are the servants of earth. Humans are the servants of earth. Genesis 1:28 declares humans have the power to subdue and have domination over this nature creation. But Genesis 2:15 declares that human beings have the power only to serve the earth. This is the contradiction between Genesis 1:28 and Genesis chapter 2:15. Both stories state that earth is the source of life and life-giving land, therefore highly valued due to sustenance of all creatures. God appoints earth as the custodian to provide food and sustenance for all his community. Genesis 1:29 to 30. Genesis 9:1 to 7 is an extension of Genesis 1:26 to 28. Both texts belong to priestly tradition, you know that, with a right to kill, Kill. Genesis 9 1 to 7 as an extension of Genesis 1:26 to 28. Now, Job 38, journey through cosmos. Wonderful journey, amazing journey. We cannot even think about that. God takes Job as on a journey through creation. In this journey, Job encounters many sights and species, but not the human species. It means creation has been descended. Humanity is not viewed as the center of everything. Two questions are asked to Job by God. First question, important question: do you understand what you are looking at? Job could not understand. Second question, do you have any power to control what you see? No control over. In this journey, Job realizes he does not have any knowledge about the creation. Without the knowledge of creation, how human can control, rule, and dominate earth? Job realizes that he does not have any power to rule earth, since he does not have true knowledge about earth. Very valid point. Proverb 8 states, on the basis of women wisdom, the human can control earth, which is negated by Job 38 by saying, answer no to all the questions asked by God about earth. On this journey through the cosmos, God challenges Job's portrait of God's arbitrary and God as the destructive manipulator of creation. Remember the first article. Page 186 gives us very clear vision on the difference between Job 38 and Genesis chapter 1. Now, I am concluding with this. Journey into the wild, Job chapter 39. On the journey to the wild, Job could not understand anything about the wildlife, except the wildlife is full of mysteries, and mysteries are never really dominated. The earth is full of mysteries. The wildlife is full of mysteries, but never the mysteries are dominated. Job realizes that the wild ass enjoys freedom from human control. Job understands that wild ox is not expected to be servant, and he cannot be the master or ruler of wild ox at any cost. Job 39:9. It means that wild creatures cannot be subjugated by humans. The mandate to dominate as per Genesis story is totally negated through the revelation of God to Job. The basic lesson taught by God is for the rejection of the tradition that humans are commissioned as a part of their basic role under God to rule over all creatures. The world of the wild is beyond the control of human capacity and domination. Genesis 9:2 is objected by Job 39. By understanding that the creatures are not terrified by the terrific action of humans, but vice versa. With the nature of ferocity of the horse, mailing the ostrich, hawk soaring, the humans are terrified, not the wild animals. The creatures are not terrified by humans, but humans are terrified. Job 39 states that creatures are described to live freely, independent, and unafraid of human beings. Creation is full of mysteries to be admired, not domains to be dominated. Job 38 and 39 stand for the negation of human superiority over creatures and domination over earth. Earth is the custodian to take care of wild creatures as well as human beings. But humans can participate in the mission of Earth as co custodians. Thus, mutual custodianship can be worked out. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening me very deeply, keenly, and carefully. Thank you.